First of all, congratulations, man. I'm so excited for you.
Thank
You
you very much.
you should feel so good. You achieved this rare feat of being the only actor nominated for Primetime and Daytime Emmy. I was just wondering, like, how special does that feel, not just to be recognized, but kind of for like the breadth of your work? I think it shows such range for you, and I think it's so cool you were recognized for those two roles.
Well, thank you. And I mean, it's interesting because on the one hand, acting is acting,
Mhm.
and it requires a different set of tools to bring reality to those two uh, shows. Um, but I think it's a tribute to the the things I was taught a long time ago, which is, y- you know, uh, you show up on time, you hit your marks, and you tell the truth.
Yeah.
And I think it was Robert Mitchum who said that. And and that's what I've always tried to do. And I guess when you stick around long enough and tell the truth long enough on camera, then eventually it actually starts to work.
Yeah.
So
I love that. Another part of this big moment for you, the self-submission, I think that's been a big subject of discussion, but something you mentioned with that like really resonated with me about advocating for yourself and how that's been a big part of your work. How important has that mantra just been for you as an actor? How important has self-advocacy been for you?
it's our job.
Yeah.
I mean, actors. I mean, I've made a living as an actor for 40 years now, and it's always self-advocacy. You've got to. It doesn't matter what you've done. You still got to walk into a room and get the next job. And so this is just. It's not that big a deal to me. All it meant was. I mean, the Pit had. I mean, look at the number of brilliant
I know.
performances on that show. And they had a limited number of people that they could nominate, and I just it was not really a big deal to me. So
Yeah. It I read the quote though, and like it was just like for me at least, I was like, yeah, that's a great point for life, I feel like. Just always making sure you are your biggest advocate because nobody's gonna ride harder for you, you know?
well, and isn't that's to me is one of the things that I've had to really work on in life,
Hmm.
because I think I don't know about everyone, but I know a lot of people I know have a voice in their head that says you're not worthy,
Yeah.
you don't deserve, and someone else deserves it more. And if they saw who you really were, they wouldn't want to know you, let alone celebrate you. And so, it's one of those aspects of acting that is so brilliant to me, is that you've got to find a way to not just advocate for yourself, because that puts the power over there. It's but to get behind yourself and support yourself and find the way to bring yourself into the equation. And that's the way I see it. So it's
Absolutely.
actually a great laboratory within which to practice that.
Mm, beautiful. I love that. Um, I've talked to quite a few Pitt folks at this point, and the thing that regularly comes up about that show is the speed of it. I was wondering, did you feel like your time in the soap opera world was helpful in preparation for the Pit, or is it kind of like a different beast?
100%. What soaps taught me was, in soaps you show up and you do a quick blocking rehearsal. Then you go get ready and you come back and you walk through the blocking one time, and then they've got four cameras going, and you do it once, and you don't get to be careful. You don't, and as long as you don't knock over a camera, they're good. And
Wow.
so I had to really learn to uh, just let go of any ideas I had about how something should go and just be fully present with it. Have my words, my preparation, but then just really go for it. Because the only way to get something, to me, to get something of value is to, let yourself be free enough for something to happen. So soaps taught me, General Hospital specifically taught me, just, let it rip. And so then you get an opportunity like the Pit, where compared to General Hospital, that was slowed down, you
Wow.
know? And like I had one day on GH where I did 55 pages of dialogue, and on on the Pit, there's maybe 8 pages of dialogue on a given day, and I'm not in all of them. So
Oh my gosh.
it was like on one level it was apples and oranges, and on another level you know, primetime work really taught me what to bring to daytime work, and daytime work really showed me how to bring it
Yeah.
in nighttime work. So,
Wow. Yeah, I know those soap operas are built different. They are such a machine. Gosh, 50 something pages in a day. That's
it was crazy.
I'm stressed thinking about it.
Well, you get off work. I was just talking to a couple of the actors have a podcast. I was talking to them a couple of days ago, and and it's like you get done with the day and you go home and study your lines for the next day.
Yeah.
It's like it's your whole life
Oh,
when
I
you're
bet.
on. So
I bet. And you did so many episodes of General
yeah,
Hospital. So, wow.
yeah.
How did it feel, speaking of General Hospital, to get to send off your character on that show in this way and get recognized for it?
It was bittersweet.
Yeah.
It's like I wanted it to be a more meaningful death, but the way it was written, my death was meaningful to other people instead of to me, and that 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 was I was sorry to see that character go out that way. But at the same time, they wrote some stuff that I was able to get behind and really enjoy doing, and bring some emotional reality to it. And so it was everything we would expect. It
Yeah.
was fun. It was sad. It was I got to get this done because I'm leaving for India tomorrow, uh, and it was everything.
That's amazing. Just to shift gears to Duke with the pit, I think one of the joys of that character for me as a fan was I feel like it really subverted that kind of biker guy expectation, maybe
Mm.
like one would have. Robbie keeps talking about his biker friend, and we have these preconceived notions. I was just wondering, could you talk about like playing with his softness and maybe mapping out that arc? Because I thought that was such like a beautiful piece of that performance.
Oh, thank you. Well, it's I wouldn't call it softness. I would call it vulnerability.
Mm-hmm.
And he is someone who has discovered the difference between uh, vulnerability, meaning able to be hurt, and vulnerability, meaning able to be seen.
Hmm.
And he let Robbie see who he was. And that comes from, I really saw him as having a 12-step background where he's been through some stuff, and he's learned how to live with the darker parts of his past, and as in 12-step groups, he's learned that exactly who he is and what he's been through makes him useful to someone else, because when he speaks that emotional truth to Robbie, Robbie hears the resonance of true truth in that, and he can't deny it, and which gives him the opportunity to speak his truth, which is I don't think I want to be anywhere, which, my God, what a beautiful moment that was. So they wrote it uh, so that there was plenty of room for me to bring that.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that moment, I think like that's one of my major standouts of the season, that scene. It's so just moving and gutting and all sorts of things. I imagine on paper though that could feel quite big before you like get into it. Could you talk me through maybe your initial thoughts and how you approached that scene versus like then getting onto set and filming it?
It was the way it was written originally had probably another page of dialogue in it. So there was more of a complete story of where Duke has been and what he's telling Robbie that Robbie needs to do. Um, and it was, that was one of the audition scenes.
Okay.
So it My main acting teacher many years ago said that you make your connection with the character the first time you read the material, and everything else is just bringing support to that connection and a fullness and life to that connection. And I guess the biggest difference is I was, instead of my scene partner when I was home taping the audition, uh, I was speaking to Noah as that character, and we had already been working together for several weeks, and we were able to really both assume a friendship there and assume a trust there. And as an actor, he's an easy man to trust because he's fully there, just
Yeah.
like and that's the mark of a great television actor or film actor. Number one on the call sheet is 100% there, on camera, off camera, all the time.
Yeah.
So it made it easy to really allow the scene to take the shape that it wanted to take, and allow both of us to let the emotions of it take us to where it took us.
Definitely. I think another thing in that scene, but your performance overall that's so beautiful for me, I think there's these really nice subtleties in the way you receive information. I think people forget a lot, like acting isn't just, delivering the lines and saying things. It is being present and receiving that. Can you talk about kind of being present in that moment and like allowing for that to breathe instead of as opposed to, like being more active, I guess?
Yeah, and thank you for that. And it really speaks to the theory of acting that works for me is that listening is the main job of an actor, and I think it's also one of the main jobs of a human being. It's like
Yeah.
if I'm talking to you and listening to your question, I have an opportunity to answer from a place of truth. If I'm listening to the inside of my head as you're asking your question, then we're going to get the same old BS that's been in there forever.
Yeah.
And so it's a constant learning to trust the moment, and learning to trust that whatever life is going to come up with by me really listening to you is going to be so much more interesting than what I can come up with not listening to you.
Yeah.
So it's like the whole performance is in the listening.
Yeah. Oh, it so that clip kind of made the rounds on social media, and every time I watch it, it just the way you respond to it, I can like just feel everything, even though you're not saying anything. It's
Oh,
just, oh, I could cry like thinking about it. Just your response alone. It's so good.
thank you.
Not to fanboy, but I want you to know I loved it. Just to kind of end on a lighter note, you have this incredible resume. It's stacked with a range of projects and roles. Is there maybe like a genre itch you're looking to scratch, or like a type of role maybe you haven't really gotten to do that you are dying to sink your teeth into?
I would love to do a great Western, and
Yeah.
just be that like Lonesome Dove is one of the greatest things that was ever put on film.
Mhm.
And those two characters of Duvall and Tommy Lee Jones, one of those old, wise
Yeah.
cowboys who's been through it all. Yeah, I'd love to have something like that to sink my teeth into.
Oh, please. I'm putting it out into the universe. We'll get you your
God bless
lonesome
you, man.
dove.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Well, thank you so much for your time. I could talk to you all day. I really appreciate this conversation and your time and your work, and I'm really rooting for you.
Thank you so much, Adam. I really appreciate you, man.
Yeah,
Thank
of
you.
course. Talk soon. You have a
Okay.
great rest of your day.
Thanks. You too.